Hello, today we'll take a look at a ukulele fingerstyle arrangement of What a Wonderful World inspired by Louis Armstrong. This is not a total beginner arrangement. It includes basic chord shapes most of you know, but it has few difficult changes as well as few difficult rhythms that make this a more advanced beginner arrangement. That is great to test your skills if you're looking to become more of an intermediate player. I would say roughly this should take you anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, and it is totally fine if you spend 8 weeks learning it. If you're an absolute beginner, I would not recommend learning this piece. With that in mind, let's get started. But first, let's hear the arrangement. Alright, so this arrangement of What a Wonderful World is in the key of F major, and it starts with our index and middle on the third and second string playing open notes, which is the pickup bar leading into an F major chord shape. That's the F major chord shape I was talking about. Your second finger on the second fret on the fourth string, and first finger on the first fret on the second string. That's thumb and middle. Then you play your index and ring. Notice how I'm not letting go of my bass note. And that's an A minor chord, which is second, open, open, and then fourth finger on the third fret on the first string. Try to avoid using your third finger because this is an awkward stretch. If you use your fourth finger, then your hand is more comfortable and what I call a square posture. You're comfortable on the neck. So I encourage you to use your fourth finger. Notice how I am playing it with my thumb, index, middle, and ring as a block chord. If you want to strum it, then you can just give it an old strum. Now that third fret is going to happen with your first finger, and you plant it when you play that A minor chord shape. Your first finger should be hovering on that first fret. Then position shift with your fourth finger to the fifth fret, and look at what's going to happen with my first finger. Just going to go on that third fret. So that's one and thumb and middle and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. If you want to make this advanced and proper, then what you would do is you would play thumb, ring, thumb and middle, then ring, so that your melody line has alternating right hand fingers, which will sound more legato than if you are to repeat your ring finger. Ring, ring, ring. It just wouldn't sound good with your right hand playing ring on the first string. But that's more advanced, but I strongly encourage you to try to play it with your right hand fingers alternating the melody lines. The trick is to play that second beat, which is your thumb and middle. Thumb, ring, middle with the thumb, then ring, chord. Then in bar 3, that's G minor chord shape, but you're only going to play that second fret on the 3rd string. Same thing here. If you want to make it advanced, you would alternate your right hand fingers on the melody. So that's thumb, ring, thumb and middle, ring, F major chord shape. So again, that's then index, middle, then a G7 chord shape, which is 2nd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, and then you play the bass, D minor. Same trick here, you can alternate your right hand fingers. Now keep that D minor chord shape because we're going to use it. We're going to play, and if you look at bar 5, you will see that it has all those ones. And if you're a normal human being, then barring that 1st fret is going to take a huge amount of energy to get all the notes right. And to be honest, there's really no need to do that. There's an easier way of playing this. So you have that D minor chord shape in bar 4. Then you're going to play the thumb, index, and then you can just slide your hand down a fret to the 1st fret with your 3rd finger and use your 4th finger to play the 2nd string. And then you can play, and then your 2nd finger can play that 1st fret on the 4th string, which is really squished, but that's, in my opinion, better than the bar. So the rhythm for bar 5 would be 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. And then we have it easy, we can relax our hands. C major, F major. So here, I would strongly encourage you to alternate your right hand fingers again. So that's 1, 1, so thumb and middle, index, then the chord, then the middle, or index if you want, it really doesn't matter. And then you have those 3s, which is your 3rd finger and 4th finger, thumb and middle, index, and then F major chord shape. And then you'll play just a simple arpeggio to end that phrase or to end the A section. 1 and 2. Notice here, I just moved my 1st finger down 2 frets and put my 2nd finger on that 4th fret. Make sure you don't blast that 3rd beat because it's the end of the phrase, which means you need to fade out or taper that phrase. So that's 1 and 2, shh, then you start again, okay? So that's the A section. Bar 8 is the 1st ending. When you do the repeat and you get to bar 7, you would play that F major chord shape. Then you go into bar 9, the 2nd ending, and you play that F major chord shape. For bar 3, you can just let go and with your 4th finger reach that 12th fret, barely touch the fret, and hit a natural harmonic. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and then the B section will start. Before we go over the B section, there's something very important that I want you to pay attention to. In each bar in that A section, the 4th beat of it leads into the bass line of the adjacent bar. So if you look at that pickup bar, you have the opens, then 2nd fret in the bass line. And then at the end of bar 1, you have the open strings, and then, isn't that beautiful in contrast? So it starts with da-da-da, and then da-da-da. And then at the end of bar 2, you have the open string in the 3rd bar. And then at the end of the 3rd bar. And then at the end of the 4th bar. And then at the end of the 5th bar. And then at the end of the 6th bar. And then its finally resolves. Isn't that beautiful? So now I'm going to play the A section and see if you can hear that moving or that leading motif from the ending of the bar to the beginning of the new bar. Da-da-bum. Da-da-da. just beautiful. It makes me melt. Anyways, moving on into that bar 9, which is the second ending going into that B section. The beat 4 is the first fret on that second string. So you play that. And then you will move on into bar 10, which is fourth finger on that second string and third finger on the fourth string. So that's 1 and 2 and 3. Now you're going to play similar to an F major chord shape, except the first finger will be at the first string. And you're going to play ring, middle, index ring, middle, and then index ring. So that's ring, middle, ring, middle, ring, with that second beat and third beat being index and ring. It's a little bit of a difficult passage for your right hand. Finishing that bar. Now we start the second section of the B section. We have then third fret with our first finger. Now do not bar the fifth frets, but play them with your fourth, third, and second. You can either play them ring, middle, index, or middle, index, and thumb. And now what we're going to do is we're going to play that beat 1, and we're going to hold everything. Now we're going to hold our third finger as a pivot and rotate our wrist a little bit to be able to fit our second finger on the fourth fret and first finger on the third fret, and we already have that fifth fret pressed. So that's a difficult move where your wrist has to rotate from here and just drops. So you have the fifth fret. Then you repeat that. 0, 3, 5s. And then G minor chord shape. So let's start that again at the end of bar 13. Now opened, G minor chord shape. I would strongly advise you not to strum that G minor chord shape because it's in the middle of the phrase, and if you strum it, it will either sound like you're beginning something new or you're ending something, but it's in the middle, so I strongly recommend you play it as a block chord. G minor chord shape. Notice how I'm using my fourth finger. So this way I don't have to move my fourth finger, and then I will go into the A section. The ending of bar 17 is still... That's the ending of the B section, so you have to go chord open, fade out. Do not blast that. And then we start the A section again. D minor. And then you would let go of the chord when you play that first string, and you use your fourth finger to reach for that 8th fret, and you would give it the cheesiest vibrato you can think of. So in bar 24, that's the F major chord shape. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. There we go. So that's how to play this fingerstyle arrangement of What a Wonderful World. I hope you've enjoyed it and learned something from this tutorial. I would say make sure you understand what the chord shapes are and understand how they move from one bar into the other, since fingerstyle does not strum the chords, but slowly moves through them in a dialogue between the bass and the melodic lines. With that in mind, good luck on your practicing sessions. My name is Mustafa Kamaluddin, and I'll see you next time.